G'day everyone. So it's now 8 weeks until my ultra. This week's been a pretty good week. I cut down on the Ks a little bit because I was planning to do the 21k race today, which I've finished not long ago. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's been a good week in terms of my training. I've ran out about 50Ks. I think I'm maybe just a touch under 50k. But in that, I've sort of ran two sets where I ran at a speed which I wanted to run today for the half marathon. So I ran a 10 and an 8k where I sat around the 5:25 per k, just making sure I was comfortable running at that speed, and that at the end of those runs that I wasn't fatigued and felt flat, just to give myself a little bit of confidence, so come today's run that I could actually tell myself that I would be able to carry that through. So that was the main purpose for those. Other than that, I took a couple of days where I just ran a slow light jog and more just putting the Ks in so I didn't feel lazy, but not really exerting or doing anything silly like that. So no, that's been really good. So it's been a good week in terms of getting my confidence up for the run today. Really happy with how it's gone. As you know, so today was a 21k run, or a half marathon, whatever you want to call it. Went with that thinking I was going to run a 5:30, basically K in, K out, and try and stay steady from start to finish. I was expecting a lot more people in the run than what actually there was. So I'd planned in the first couple of K to allow myself to go a little bit slower than that and then make up time for that once the crowd dispersed. But because there's only a few hundred people, it really let me just sort of hit my stride straight away. And because of that, instead of pacing along at 5:30s, I actually dropped a couple of nice quick Ks at the start to get me going. As you know, my goal was to run a 1:55 for the day, and apparently I've never gone under 2 hours. I thought I did at the marathon, but as I corrected last week, it was a 2 hours and 26 seconds, so a little bit out. So this time I went out to do a 1:55. That is sitting on 5 minutes 30 per kilometre for the whole way, and I felt pretty good straight from the start. Managed to knock out the first 10k, really happy, knocking out I think it was about 53.5 minutes or something, which I thought was a little bit quicker than what I was planning. It should have been around 55, but I was still feeling really good, so I didn't really worry about that too much. I did back off a little bit for a k or so, just to, I guess, take stock on how I was feeling, not that there's some sort of mind block where I was telling myself I'm feeling good and end up burning myself out. So I cruised along, and it was also good too, there was another runner there that was running about the same pace as me, so I was able to pace with her for about the first 12k or so, until she dropped off a little bit. But having that other person to run with, it just sort of helps you hit your stride easier, and I guess you start running with them rather than watching the watch, and that does help make a bit of a difference and just helps time go by. I'll have some footage of the whole thing. You've probably been watching it anyway from the run today. So I managed to hold that right through, and at about the 15k mark I was actually still feeling really good. So I started to push a little bit again and try and pick up some more speed, and then carried that through and accelerate again for the last few k, which you do anyway. You're on adrenaline and you're close to the finish line, so you know you don't need much left in the tank, so you push your way through to the finish. So I was aiming at a 1:55 and super stoked to have come in the run at a 1:52.28, I think it is. That's off their gun time. My time's a little bit shorter, but they didn't have a ribbon at the start, so I'll take the gun time. So yeah, to run at 1:52.28, very happy with that. That's an average of around about 5:20 per kilometre. I think it's a little bit less, so a bit quicker than what I was planning to for the day, but at the same time when I hit the line, it's not like I was wrecked. I don't feel I could have gone much faster, but at the same time I don't think I overdid myself either. So that was a really good result, and again it's just giving me that little bit more confidence for what I can persevere with. Also too, knowing that you're supposed to be able to do a 1:53 something or other, whatever it is, to run a 4-hour marathon, which is one of my goals, which I'm hoping to go for middle of next year. So to know that I'm in that ballpark just helps as well, so I can put that back in my mind and worry about that later on. But like I said, I feel pretty good about the whole thing, and super stoked with the result. 3 minutes quicker than what I was planning, so that's great. But more about just how I felt when I hit the line. That's the biggest confidence thing. Not, even more so than the time, but just knowing that everything's worked, and that I guess everything sort of just stitched together, and I did manage to hold those paces all the way through, other than a couple of 5-minute Ks right at the start. Basically sat on the low 520s for the rest of the run. There's only a couple of Ks in there where I was a little bit slower, and that's just when I just backed off just to check how I was feeling and make sure I wasn't pushing myself too far, especially after the first 10k when I thought I might have cooked myself because I came out and went a little bit harder than planned. So really happy with all that. So for next week, I think I'm just going to do a couple of light runs start of the week. So I'll get out Monday, Tuesday and just do some cruisy runs and try and sit on a nice easy pace and just sort of help the muscles clear out any of the crap from today. Then I'll be picking it back up again and back to training as normal, assuming everything goes okay. Planning a long run this weekend coming up. Won't be running hard like I did today, but sort of thinking it will be maybe high 20s, 25, 28k, something like that. I'll pick another nice trail since I'm trying to get used to running with the trail packs, so I'll find somewhere nice around town and get some footage of that for you for next week. So I guess that's all for this week. Got any questions, post them below. I'll get on and answer them, and hopefully everyone stays motivated doing what they're doing as well, and everyone working for goals here and there. So hopefully all that's going well for you, and until then I'll catch you all next week. See ya.